This is your one and only 𝐕𝙪𝙪𝙨𝐸_81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to some more ARK Extinction. Today we're going to take a look at some amazing base locations in the Wasteland. Let's get to it. Our first location is at 47.9, 81.5, and while I'm taking you on a tour of this location, I just want to talk a little bit about living out here. There's some things that you need to keep in mind, mainly of which is that the corrupted dinos will attack your base. They don't like the player structures, so if they spawn nearby, I've seen pteranodons attack it. I've also seen other ones walk by and not attack, so I'm not 100% sure what triggers them, but I do know that they do have a trigger and they will attack your base. So you have to build in areas that are easily fortified and don't have a lot of exposed pieces, because that just means that's more that you have to defend from. So our first location here is very ideal because you can build all the way back through here, and your best bet would be to stop right here and just wall up right across here like so. And that way you don't have to worry about this here. However, if you want to take your base all the way through here and just take up the max amount of space possible, you will have to build a wall across here and across there, and that's going to be two fronts you have to defend on. However, this part in here should be relatively easy. I don't see too much spawn in here. I mean, we did see that trike fall down there a minute ago onto this platform, but you could easily defend out here, build like a wall across here, put some turrets around and stuff like that, and defend this location as well. It may not be nearly as hard to defend this as it is to defend out there, but you have water here. There's metal all over out there, so it's a really good location if you choose to live out here. But keep in mind that while you're not online, there is a chance that somebody could come by and pull the area out of stasis, and there's a chance that, you know, something could break into your base and destroy everything and kill all your dinos. So it's important to, if you decide to live out here, not to try and do it until you are able to properly fortify the area. All right, so now that you know all that, we take a look at base 1 here, we're going to move on to option 2. All right, here we are at base location 2, and we are at 90.1, 13.1, and your main threat with this one's going to be pteranodons. Now, a lot of pteranodons spawn in this area. You can see there's a bunch of them down there, so you're going to want to be able to deal with those, probably with turrets or whatever you can to deal with them. You're going to know that they're going to be a problem at this location. However, you're up off the ground and really nothing can get to you. You could easily build some stuff up here to help keep things from falling down on top of your base. Should be pretty easy to put some foundations to stop spawning, put a wall across there, and then bam, you know, go out and rebuild the wall every now and then when it gets destroyed by random pteranodons. You can see there's a bunch over there as well. This is going to be a relatively difficult location to live in because of the pteranodons. Other than that, though, you don't have to worry about anything else getting here, because I haven't seen a lot of random things spawn up here. It's really close to the red markers, so you see the red markers are going to just like kiss the side of your base there, so you should be fine. You can see here we don't have, nope, nothing, rocks, nothing spawning on any of this. Everything spawns on over that way, so, and nothing too serious spawns up here either. You can see it's just a mess of pteranodons. So if you can keep those under control, this would be an absolutely amazing place to build a base. I mean, you have a ton of room here. You have room all the way up here. You can ramp up to there and then go, you know, build all the way up in that little nook and cranny back in there. Tons of room, really good location. Tons of metal and oil too. There's a lot of metal and oil all around this area here. So if you're a tribe that uses a lot of metal and oil and you want to live in the wasteland and have a difficult journey, this is the location for you. Okay, on to the next. The next base is at 62.4, 16.4. Now, this one's going to be a bit more to fortify, but it's pretty decent because you can fortify across here, fortify across there. And like I said, you're going to have a lot more work to do, because if you come out this way, you can see that there is the platform goes all the way across there, and then there's a ramp on the far side. And if we come over here, you can see that there's a ramp there too. So if you manage to block that off over there, you should be relatively secure over here on this side of your base. You also want to make sure you secure up here. I have seen dinos right there. You can see there's a stego on the side there. So you could, you know, build your wall all the way across here and just help, you know, keep them off your base that way. So it's a lot more difficult to fortify this one, but I like the fact that you only have like 2 sides that you really have to worry about. And I mean, it would be possible. It's just going to take a little more work to fortify this one than some of the other places that we've looked at and will look at. But you also have a crafting station here too, one of the city terminals right there. So you can, you know, craft all your stuff in your city terminal. That's pretty much it for this one. On to the next. The next location is a room with a view. We are at 38.614.2, and you're inside of like an old, I don't know, human-based structure, whatever. But you got walls all along the sides here. You actually have glass, so you can like look out and check out all the random corrupted dinosaurs trying to get in your base. We come down and out this way, you can get a better look of what you're dealing with here. So you have all of this space around here in which you can secure. Now you have 2 locations that they can get in, so you will have to fortify through this little cave here, and you will have to fortify this large opening here in the front. But you can see that it easily fortifies with gates, and it's a perfect setup to make it too thick, so you can fortify both there and on this side here, and then have a nice thick wall. So if they do manage to get through one gate, they'll have to get through another, which should give you time to deal with them. And I mean, it should take them quite some time. Even though they do deal extra damage to structures, it should take a little bit of time for them to get through said structures. The other thing you can do to help make your base more secure is most dinos can't get up all of here, so they can't get up any of this here. They have to come up the ramps. So you can also put gates here as well. So you can see I can slam down a gate there as well, and it comes all the way to the top. So a little bit of creative gate placement, and you can easily secure this and have all of this room here. Unless you get a pteranodon in here, nothing that's on the ground is going to be able to get up here and get to anything. Now, I tried to see if you could wall this off easily. As you see here, the little gates don't come quite to the top, and you cannot place the behemoths because they clip through too much of the ground above. So if you wanted to wall all of this off across here and seal all of this in, you would have to use the fence foundations or normal foundations and use normal walls and wall up that way. But this location's really great though. I mean, like, all around, it's fantastic. You got plenty of ways to secure it. Now, granted, you're going to have to do a little bit of fortification, but the fortification you do is going to be really good, easy to do, and it's going to be really effective with minimal effort. So we can come out here and you can see, like, you got, I mean, there's a lot of corrupteds out here, like a ton. So I highly recommend not moving here until you're able to do stuff like turrets as well and other things. But once you're able to do all that, you should be relatively safe. You have water relatively close by. There's metal scattered all throughout around here, so metal shouldn't be a problem. Oh, one other thing to mention is you do have a hole up here, so you're going to have to deal with that as well. Otherwise, you're going to get dinos randomly falling in when they get attacked. Luckily enough, you don't have too much trouble, because if they do fall in, if you didn't want to deal with that, if you had gates here and just secured this spot here, you wouldn't have to worry too much, because they would fall down onto the ramp. Even if they fall down over here, you can see they can't actually fall down on this strip that goes around, so you would still be safe, other than pteranodons flying in and causing chaos. So that's it. That's pretty much all there is for that one. Let's go to the last one. This last location is absolutely insane, and you'd have to be insane to live here, but I'm sure somebody will probably go for it. We are at 21.042.3. Okay, so you're extremely high up. You can build here. As you can see, I've built foundations here. You can build foundations, all of it. See, all of this here. So a lot of these places that are this high up, you can't actually build, but this one's good to go. It's going to be extremely rough living up here because you are way far from the ground. I'll show you here in just a second so you can see all of this throughout here. You got a ton a ton of building room. Let's zoom out so you can take a look at where we're at. So up here on top of this, you have all of this that you can build on. You don't really have to worry about corrupted dinos up here because you are so freaking high up in the air that none of them come up this high. So it's pretty much the safest out of all of them that I've shown you so far. I haven't seen anything up this high. I mean, we're way too high. Most things are much further down. You do have the issue of like, this is very corrupted predator territory heavy. There's the drakes, there's reapers, all that stuff. Freaking gigas, all of it spawn around this area down below. So this isn't going to be an elevator type situation. You're not going to build an elevator down here. You're going to have to be one of those, you know, flyer tribes. If you can't carry it with a flyer, you're not going to be bringing it here. And you're not going to be doing much down there on the ground either because it's extremely deadly. 360 all the way around here is Giga Drake, Wyvern, all that stuff territory. So you can see we go all the way over here. You're at the whole red area over there. So yeah, but it's a fantastic location because you can build there and it's so high up that literally nothing spawns up here. So you're perfectly safe. You won't have to go through like any crazy measures to make sure your base is super fortified and that things can't attack it because there's just not going to be anything that comes up this high. Before we wrap things up, I just want to remind people that your base should be safe at any of these locations when everything is in stasis. So when you are not online, if there isn't somebody there keeping that area loaded, it will never get attacked because none of the dinosaurs are actually doing anything. So when somebody comes to the area though, or when you're online and in your base, that's going to be the times that you need to protect. So keep that in mind when you're trying to plan out how you're going to defend the base. If somebody's close by and they're keeping that area loaded, then yeah, then you're going to have a lot to deal with. But if you're only at your base for a short period of time, or if you're able to defend your base easily while you're there, it's not going to be much of a problem for you. And this the last location I showed you, you should be 100% fine. Any other location that you can find that is that high up and where nothing spawns, you should also be fine. Like flyers just don't come up that high normally. Like they'll follow you up that high if you know catch a pteranodon's attention or catch a wyvern's attention or something like that while you're going back to your base, then yeah, it's going to follow you. But majority of the time they should stay lower to the ground. Other than that, keep in mind that a lot of these corrupted dinos, especially over in the red area, have an insane amount of hit points and they all do massive damage to structures. Okay, so I think we covered everything. Let me know what you think about these locations. Let me know if you're already living out in the wasteland and how it's working out for you. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my 𝐊𝐿𝐿𝐴 Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like the comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.